Hi guys, Tony from Tony's E Cig Stuff here again. Last time I done a beginner's review regarding cigarette devices, e-cigarette devices like this, the Cigalite, and this, the Eco style battery with the CE4 on top. Today I'm going to go on to the next stage what I done when I began vaping, and I moved away from this type of tank, the CE4. This is actually a GHS2. And then I moved on to the glass Pyrex tanks. This is a Protank. It's stainless steel and it's got a glass Pyrex tank. Now the glass Pyrex tank has multi-purposes. It enhances the flavour somewhat, and also certain e-juices can crack plastic tanks. So once again, using this Protank Pyrex glass, it can't crack with certain juices. I'll just take this apart for you and I'll give you an idea how it works. It has a removable drip tip. There you go. You can change that, interchange it with the various drip tips that you like. And then when you've took that off, the whole thing comes apart. The glass can be removed as the bottom, as the top part, and you can clean it, wash it, and fill it up with juice. Now, if you want to fill it up with juice, the process is quite straightforward. At the bottom here, you remove this top, it unscrews like so, and what you do, same as before, there's an inner tube which you don't put the juice down, but you put it around the inner tube. So I'll just demonstrate that for you, and then it goes. Now before I put the top back on, or rather the bottom, let's just go back to this. That once again is a coil, which, like the coil I showed you previously before, can be easily removed just by twisting it, taking it out, and then putting your new coil in. Now this is a 1.4 coil, that's in here, and as I say, it just screws back into the Protank, tighten it up, like so, and then put your drip tip back on. Now this is what you call 510 base. Unlike the Ego threading on this one, CE4 GHS, which is inverted, it's called the Ego thread, that, yeah? This one is a 510. Now your battery accommodates both 510 and Ego. Egos go round the battery and you screw them on. Now basically, it doesn't go round, but it screws to the inside of this battery, like so. And there you have it. It's assembled. So I'll tell you what, let's have a go on this, see how it works, yeah? It's quite good. I'm just going to put it on a high setting. Yeah, there's a big difference. It's a slightly cooler vape because of the Pyrex rather than a plastic tank. So you get a cooler vape to a point. Yeah, and as I said, repeat myself again, with it being a glass tank, you'll have certain e-juices which are known as tank crackers. So when you have a polycarbonate tank, you know, if you want to call it plastic, certain juices will crack this, and obviously you'll lose your juice and your tank's redundant. With this being Pyrex, it's never going to happen. You can put any juice you want in there, and it's never going to crack it. Obviously the downside is with it being a Pyrex tank, if you put it down too quick, you break the tank. You have to buy a whole new unit. As opposed to that, you bash that about, it doesn't break really, right? So there's an advantage and a disadvantage to both of these. This is pretty much unbreakable to a point when you're putting it down. However, certain juices will crack the tank and it'll be redundant. This one will never have a juice that will crack the tank. However, if you put it down too severely, you can break the Pyrex glass yourself and then you're back to square one and you have to buy a whole new unit. But you know, I'm not expecting you guys to break these, so this has just been basically a quick review on the next thing I moved up to from a clear miser to a tank, and this is a Protank. If you can see that there, it's a Protank, and it's a belting little tank. Oh, and it has like airflow control, and you can see that little hole there. By moving this edge up and down, it reduces how much air goes into it. So when you take a vape, if you have the air hole covered completely, it'd be very tight to get a draw. If you have it open, it's an easier draw, and also theoretically you get more vapor from it, you know. So this has been a short video, as I say. It's just basically like sort of, it's part of my beginners series that I'm starting. So this is like part 2, if you will. So it's basically how I progressed from polycarbonate tanks to the glass Pyrex Protank. This is a belt, a Protank, very reliable. It's by Kanger Tech. It's a Protank, and it's the next step up from these. And I think you'll find as you advance, you find it more enjoyable. So hopefully this has been useful to you guys, and I'll do another one where hopefully I'll move into maybe mods. This is a battery, and you can buy what you call as a mod. So in my next video I'll cover a little bit about mods and how they work. A mod is another word for an advanced battery, if you like. It's called a mod. So hopefully I'll see you next time, guys. I'll cover where I went after this setup. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully guys, I'm getting a bit better at this, so as I say, just bear with me, and I'll see you all again. So let's have a toot. I'll see you next time. There you go.